Hello, Morim here. In today's video I will be sharing my take on the Tavern Brawler Monk. Well, a better name would be Fisting Tank, because we are going to obliterate enemies with our grenade arms while wearing the thickest plate we can find. Incredibly high AC, really good damage, high hit chance and top tier mobility are the main features of this build. Now you won't see 99 hits like with the Raging Monk, but you're still going to run around with insanely high amounts of hit due to how Tavern Brawler works. Now, speaking of Tavern Brawler, this build does not work without it. It's either due to a bug or due to an unintended mechanic, but the Monk stuff does not scale with strength without the feat, meaning you will need to respec the character at level 5 and you will have to start as another build, be it a dexterity build with the monk or you need to throw together a fighter or barbarian. It doesn't really matter. I personally recommend the fighter due to its immense early game strength and it being easy to transition into this build. We are going to multi-class into that class anyway at later levels. Now, with the introduction of the build out of the way, let's have a look at the starting ability score as well as the level progression. So let's start with the ability score first. We're going to start with 17 strength, 10 dexterity, 16 constitution, 8 intelligence, 14 wisdom and 18 charisma. Wisdom is necessary to resist specific spell saving throws, which include, for example, hold person. Very annoying to deal with, this one helps. The skill proficiencies are to your choice. I personally like athletics and perception. Anything with insight also works if you are going to do the talking, but I do not recommend that. Get someone with charisma. In the first level, we are going to go with defense. Defense gives us one armor class additionally to the armor class we get through armor. Might not seem like much, but it adds up quickly. Now, fighter at level 1 gives us a few proficiencies, namely heavy armor proficiency as well as shield proficiency. As far as the starting race goes, you can go with a variety of different options. I personally like the look of Dragonborn, so I'm going with Dragonborn. My builds do not require race. Has to do with RP and the feel, because this one is not a game you need to sweat in, but a game you want to have fun with. And for me, looks play a massive role. Keep in mind, if you're not level 5, you want to go with the fighter and pick up the superiority dice and so on and so forth. But since I am assuming you are level 5 already, we go with the monk. This gives us access to flurry of blows, as well as some other neat features. Keep in mind, unarmored defense is not going to give us any benefits. Anything that's using the unarmored trait is not going to give us any boni. We are here for the flurry of blows. Level 2 in monk gives us a few things, like armored movement, but we are armored, so we don't really pay attention to this. The one thing we want to have ready is Step of the Wind, giving us dash on a bonus action for 1 key point. This combined with our jump ability, because we are strength based, we're going to jump much further. Those two abilities, jump and Step of the Wind dash, are the most important mobility spells you have in your arsenal. At level 3 with the monk, go with the Way of the Open Hand. This gives us topple, stagger and push. Pushing enemies into chasms one-shots them. Staggering enemies prevents them from using reactions. Not that useful. And then we have Flurry of Blows topple. You want to default to this specific Flurry of Blows every single time after you gain it. Applying prone to an enemy gives you advantage on attack rolls against them, and the enemy cannot take actions, bonus actions, reactions, and has disadvantage on strength and dexterity saving throws. A very strong ability you're going to use all the time. At level 5 or level 4 monk, you're going to get access to the first feat. Now the first feat is going to be obviously Tavern Brawler, which is found at the bottom of the list. Tavern Brawler gives us 1 point in strength, which is massive for us, and gives us the ability to modify our unarmored attacks with strength. Additionally, it doubles that bonus and that hit rate, meaning at the current level we have 18, that's a +4, we have +8 to hit and +8 to damage. Now your tooltips will lie to you. Your Flurry of Blows will show +0, just the hit dice, just the regular 1d6. But this one, Tavern Brawler, applies behind the scenes. When you look at the logs in the chat, you can see it's rolling the damage, it's rolling the hit, and you're going to hit for massive amounts of damage. Then again, a level in monk, 5th level here, because we want that extra attack. Stunning Strike is not going to be something we use at all basically, but extra attacks, the best thing ever. And notice something, for each level you are getting key points. You need key points to use your Flurry of Blows. And then we get to level 6. At level 6 you're getting Manifestation of Body, Mind and Soul. This one is a toggle ability, I'll show you in a moment, that gives you an additional 1d4 plus 2 damage per unarmored hit. Now this one can be toggled in the passive section. Down below you will see the passive window. You need to press one of the buttons here and it's toggled on. You cannot have multiple on, so just one. Now when you look at the damage, you need to look at your unarmored strike. It's 1d6 plus 8 plus 1d4 because of a glove I'm currently wearing, plus 1d4 plus 2 radiant damage. That's the damage you're going to deal with one single hit. Now when we go to a target dummy and hit the target dummy, like so, you're going to unlock unarmored strikes, 1d6. But if you hit an enemy with this strike, you're going to still apply the same damage you apply with unarmored strikes despite it not stating this fact. The same is true for Flurry of Blows, 1d6. But you're still going to deal insane damage as shown in the introductory clips. Now that's the core of the build. How do you proceed further? The next level, level 8, is going to go into monks. At level 7 you get a really strong ability. When your character does a dexterity saving throw, it's usually going to lower the damage of a spell by half. But with evasion it lowers it to 0. So you get no damage from basically a fireball. And it halves the damage if you fail. It's an incredibly strong defensive mechanic. And you get Still of Mind. When you get charmed or frightened, you automatically cast Stillness of Mind to remove the condition. So this level is exceptionally strong defensively. Afterwards, you want a second level in Fighter, meaning level 9 is going to be a Fighter level. This ability is provided to you one time per long rest. This gives you insane amounts of burst damage. At the next level, we have two choices. The first one being Champion. If you don't want to use a superiority dice and want a more simplified playstyle, go with the Champion. Gives you a +1 to your crit roll. So you don't need to roll a 20 on a hit dice, but a 19 or 20 to provide you with a crit. Basically a 5% increased chance to critically strike. Now if you want to flavor up your playstyle, you want to pick the Battle Master. The Battle Master provides you with 4 superiority dice that regenerate on a short or long rest, and those dice are d8. Those dice can then be spent on special moves. The first one we are going to pick is Riposte. As a reaction on an enemy missing us, we are going to expand a dice and strike them back. It's a reaction and it's exceptionally strong. Think of this one as an attack of opportunity on enemy misses. Keep in mind, this damage is increased by 1d8 because we spent a superiority dice. The next one is going to be Trip Attack. We spend a superiority dice and can make an enemy prone. So we have Flurry of Blows to make enemies prone or Trip Attack. Both are valid. And the last one is going to be something defensively. We're going to go with Evasive Footwork. This one buffs you, so every enemy that's attacking you needs to roll 2 times to hit you. And the worst dice is getting picked. It's an incredibly strong defensive tool in your arsenal. The next level is going to go again in Fighter. We now get access to another feat, and with this feat we can go 2 points in strength, and combined with Tavern Brawler down below, we're getting 20 base strength with this class, and this means with our unarmored attacks we get 2 damage and +2 to hit. Very, very strong. Now with this one finished, every single other level is going to go into the Monk, so we are going to end up with a level 8 Monk and a level 4 Fighter. This means we have 1 feat, we can choose whatever we want. And with the last one we are going to go with Lucky. Now Lucky is something that's really underutilized in the real game in D&D 5e, but in Baldur's Gate 3 you get a lucky hit dice back a lot more often. So with this one you can impose an advantage on attack rolls, ability checks or saving throws for you, or make an enemy reroll their attack rolls, making them miss. Basically an advantage or disadvantage at the end. If you do not like that, you can just go with, for example, Tough to get more health, Sentinel for a defensive option, Mage Slayer to make life for mages very, very difficult, or Athlete to increase your jump distance. Now lastly, a very small section about gear. You can get a ton of AC. As you can see with this character we have 22. You're going to wear a shield that's giving you a +2 to armor, and you're still perfectly fine with your unarmored attacks. So don't forget to slap on a shield if you're going this route. And keep in mind there's a ton of things to increase your damage. For example, gloves will give you on unarmored attacks additional damage. And you can use your companions, for example the paladin, to impose a +4 damage, radiant damage, on your allies. And since we are attacking multiple times with this character, each of those hits is going to hit for the additional 4 radiant damage. Flourish blows, 8 damage. Anyway, if you like this video, make sure to leave a like, leave a comment if you have any questions, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. You can also join the channel membership or leave a donation if you have the spare coin. So, see you next time and bye.